I don't know who needs to hear this, but, well, I guess that's not true. I suppose you need to hear this because to some degree you saw the title and things might not be so okay for you right now. But I want you to know that that, in and of itself, is okay. A good friend of mine recently has been going through a series of pretty unfortunate events. She got out of a relationship that left her pretty heartbroken, and then a few months after that was left losing a grandmother as well, who she was pretty close with. And she sent me a message after we had hung out in the days following getting kind of the bad news, and she was saying, I'm sorry that I've been down lately. I don't like to be a drain. And her specific people-pleasing tendencies aside, I hear this type of thing all the time from people, like, I'm sorry for being low energy. Even I have been extremely apologetic before because I never want to be responsible for draining somebody else's energy. But as I explained to her, and I have to remind myself as well, experiencing the entire breadth of the human experience is why we are here. You've heard it a million times. You can't have the sun without the rain. But it is the duality of the human experience. It is the breadth and both ends of the spectrum that make us so appreciative of those amazing times. And we can't expect for ourselves or for other people life to just be one note, especially on the positively valenced side of the spectrum. It can't always be sunshine and rainbows. And it is expecting it to be so, having this unspoken or unwritten expectation that things are supposed to be okay. And when somebody asks you, hey, how are you doing? All you are allowed to share is, oh, I'm doing well, things are going well, things are fine, I'm okay. It doesn't mean pour your heart out to the random passerby as you walk past them and exchange pleasantries, but for your close friends, for the people that are genuinely supposed to support you along your journey, and likewise, you are supposed to support along theirs. If you withhold any amount of your truth, the periods of time where you really are going through it, from them, you not only do yourself a disservice because you don't allow them to help you, but you do them a disservice because you don't allow them to help you and console you and hold space and maybe offer advice or pitch in if you're going through a period of time where you're unable to help yourself in some sort of physical or material way. We all know this somewhat intuitively, but when it becomes us in the spotlight, for some reason it becomes hard to remember that it's okay. Because if you were to find out that a friend was really going through something and they had been withholding it from you, you'd say something to the effect of, oh my God, I wish you told me sooner. I would have been there for you. I want to be helpful to you. But as soon as the roles are reversed and you're going through it, and you're going through a low patch, a rough patch, a stormy season for however long it is or however severe it is, we have this dissonance for some reason where we are now no longer allowed to tell our truth or feel pressure to hold things back or put a smile on, when in fact that's the last thing you want to be doing, and it's a complete mask over what's going on inside. And the strange paradox of all of this is that it is through expressing actually what you're going through, telling 100% of your truth, that you allow the energy to pass through you. The word emotion is energy in motion. So when you feel emotions arising in the body, that energy has to go somewhere. And when you suppress it or wear a mask, it gets bottled up. And this is the root of many, if not all, diseases, in my opinion. And the body will start rebelling against you eventually. It'll start to crack out, and it continues to get pressed down and pressed down and pressed down, and all that pressure has to come out at some point. And unfortunately, it might end up, in the most ironic of ways, hurting one of those people that you were trying to protect, because they eventually say something in your proximity and that triggers you, and then you snap and let something out that's harmful to them, and all you had to do all along was just tell the truth. Tell the truth of how you were going, why things weren't feeling so great, and allow them to hold that space and console you. Additional benefit of this sort of practice of telling your whole truth even when things aren't so okay on your end is you get to know who's really there for you and who's there for the good times. You don't need every friend in your life to be down for all the super dark, dirty details of your life, but you do need some of them to be that way. 1 to 3 to 5 really, really close, true friends. I will label them as true friends because they're really there for you. And the only way you can know if they're there for you is that you get to show all of yourself to them. Same is true in romantic relationships, but amongst friends, you'll never know who's truly there for you unless you express all of yourself, especially the less savory parts of yourself when you're really going through it. So I want to offer this for your consideration as well as an encouragement. If things aren't so okay for you right now, it is absolutely okay to not be okay. This is part of your experience. It's absolutely normal. If something hard and challenging in your life has gone on that is not as desirable as you want, losing a loved one, getting broken up with, getting some sort of injury, getting laid off, you can imagine or label whatever experience you have. It's okay to have internal feelings that aren't great. I talk a lot about mental reframing and life is happening for you, and all those things are true and apply, but that is using the conscious mind to redirect our perspective. But the unconscious still feels the feelings and the emotions that happen from the initial stimulus. And you must honor and respect those feelings. Otherwise, like I said before, it will result in disease and dysfunction in your personal life, whether just for you or for the people in your surrounding. So know that it is absolutely okay to not be okay. Don't use this as an excuse to fall into the victim mindset, although I know people who watch my videos will not and do not. But don't feel like you're playing the victim simply by acknowledging how you feel. Give yourself permission to feel like shit for a day or a few, or maybe a month. Maybe there's a low season of your life. That is literally just the texture of experience. It can't be one note. We wouldn't be able to hear music without the gaps. So keep going. Tell somebody that loves you and that you love how you're feeling, and understand that this too shall pass. I really hope this was helpful. Comment below what you thought, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.